Alright. Here's where it gets complicated. This is the new step. This is the new page. We're going to create a master page. We're going to name this index. So we're going to go into Arachnophilia, create file, new HTML file, and we're going to name it. This is the most important page title ever, because this will now be on every single page. No matter where they click, if this is your chicken website, if this is your business website, whatever they do, wherever they click, it's going to be this title at the top. And I don't know if I told you what to name it. Let's see. Learning frames is fun. So I'm going to type learning frames is fun. Click OK. Alright, we got a brand new HTML file. We're going to go to File, Save As, and we're going to name it index.html. Also, we're deleting the body tags, because remember, nobody is going to see the actual results of this. This is just for the browser to know where to put the other web pages. So let me go back here. We're going to key in the following code. I'll just copy and paste it, and you probably will too. And I'm going to break this down for you. This says frame set calls. Calls is short for columns. The first column is going to be 15% wide. The second column is going to be 85% wide. The first frame is going to be called navbar, and that's the HTML document we just created. The second frame is going to be actually the home page, and that's going to be in that big area to the right, and we've already created the home page here. So let's preview what we've got so far. Now the reason that I don't see anything in the left side right now is because my navbar, it says changed. I haven't saved my changes since I copied and pasted this text. So I'm going to click on save, go back to my index, click on preview, and now I've got a navigational bar with links to the left, and then I've got this huge area over here, and the goal is for when I click here for it to change over here. Right now it's not going to do that because we have another step. So if I click here, it doesn't work yet. The links work, but they're not going where they're supposed to. So that's our next step, is making when I click here it happen over here. So the lesson breaks down everything. This is the code we used. Frame set calls, that's in columns. You can do rows. We use percentages. You also can do pixels if you like. If you know you want to be 100 pixels for the left frame, 600 pixels for the right frame, you can do that. Frame search is just like your image search tag. If you look at your code, frame search is looking for navbar, frame search 2 is looking for your home page. Alright, so let's look at our navbar in Arachnophilia. It looks like this right now. We're going to change that. Let me show you what we got to do here. If you'll notice, the second frame I named it. I named it main. I can name it Tom if I like. It doesn't matter what you name it. What's important is when you go to your navbar and you have your links, that you create an attribute in the Ahref called target. Target equals main. And that will be the exact same target for all three links. So I'm going to save my changes, go to my index, preview, and now you're seeing that when I click here it changes to the right. Now in my index, like I said, if I name this Tom and I click here, nothing's going to happen. It's going to freeze my computer up like it just did. But if I named it Tom in my index, I can do that, but I just have to name my target Tom. I like naming mine home or Tom main or whatever, but I'm just showing you that it doesn't matter what you name it as long as you name it the same. And it is case sensitive, so if you put a capital M for main and put a lowercase m, it's probably not going to work. That's how you create frames. You'll probably want to be able to review this lesson or keep this open so that you can look at everything. But I want to show you one more thing. Just because the first thing I showed you was columns doesn't mean you need to stick with columns. If I just simply change this to rows, 15%, 85%, see how it puts a row at the top? I can also do, I think it's here, border equals 0, and what that will do is make it so you can't see the border. A good look for some websites would be in the nav bar. If I did do with the rows, I would need to remove the paragraph tag because I wouldn't want it to double space. And I could put this sign right here, which is a shift, and it's right under the backspace. That's a little horizontal, a vertical line. And if I save it and I preview it, it looks like that. And I can also center it. I'm going to do style equals text align colon center. And when I save that and preview it, it's centered. So now when I go to index, see how this now works that way. Okay, I can also, if I got this little too much room here, so I can go back to my index and say that I want my rows to only be 8%, which means the second row would have to be 92%. So you see how that goes. If I want all my links to be at the bottom frame, then all I have to do is switch these two numbers. 92, 8, but then I need to switch my frames too, because the frames have to be in the order that I want them to be. So I save it, preview it, now my frames are at the bottom. There's a lot of things you can do with frames. If I wanted to make it look like the frame wasn't there, let's go to home page, that's a blue. If I use the same code for my nav bar and type blue there, then you really wouldn't be able to tell that that's a navigational bar down there. The only way you would tell is when you clicked onto another page and it was a different background color. But if you kept the same background color for all your pages, what I'd like for you to do is when you finished, I would like for you to go through this lesson on your own. And when you get finished, just like the other exercises, raise your hand. I want to see your frames work, and then I'll give you 100.